Hello, everyone. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to Mnemonic's Expert Discussion Series. As China is becoming the manufacturing capital of the world, the Chinese government is getting stricter than ever before with environmental health and safety regulation and compliance. New laws are slowly coming into force, and revised laws set no limits on fines imposed on polluters. To update you on the EHS trends in China and how it will affect your industry, with me today is Ines Wang, who's a regulatory analyst in China with over 5 years of experience. Hello, Ines. How are you? Thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Jessica. I'm happy to be here.
So, Ines, recently there was an announcement by the Chinese government related to the annulment of over half of the current mandatory national standards. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, of course. Recently, an office under the State Council just for promoting and coordinating the standardization work just announced a conclusion on the mandatory standards integration and simplification work. After validating over 10,000 of the mandatory standards, it has been decided that over 2,200 of them are going to be abolished, and around 3,600 of them are going to be converted into recommended standards, which means that 50% of the mandatory standard are going to disappear.
Well, this sounds like a huge project. Can you tell us how it's going to affect organizations in China?
Well, I can just give you a simple example to show you how it is going to affect organizations in China. For instance, you have a hot work operation in your site, and before you have to follow the mandatory standard on hot work safety, but now the standard has been converted into recommended standard. But that doesn't mean you don't have to control hot work safety because the violation penalty is still somewhere in upper laws. It means that you can choose your own way to control the hot work safety. Multinational enterprises usually have their own standards and working procedures. Now they can use their own hot work safety procedures and not to use, for example, like it's required before a hot work safety application sheet required from the old mandatory standard. So this is how this standardization reform are going to affect organizations in China.
Well, you talked about reforms. Lately, China has been implementing a lot of reforms. Do you think these reforms are going to
Yes.
affect the EHS compliance in China? And
Yes,
if
of
you have
course.
any examples to share with us?
Yeah, because China is a very centralized country. We cannot have a discussion that without looking at the ruling policy of the of this country. So recently, the current government actually raised a new ruling concept called 放管服 in Chinese. I'm sure you don't know what that means in English. It means the pipe suit, which is the reform of simplified administration and delegate power and strengthen regulation and also optimize service. It sounds like an empty slogan, but it isn't, because it already has been affected every aspect in EHS compliance. You asked for example, so I give you a very simple, brief example that recently, just in April this year, the State Administration of Work Safety has repealed lots of requirements on the administrative procedures for applying or for constructing a new facility. That the company now can do almost every step by themselves instead of doing it by qualified institutions required in the former regulations. So the governments are adjusting their rules from supervising every step of the projects to just imposing the post-event supervision and increasing the penalty of violation. So this policy will keep affecting Chinese EHS compliance, and it will definitely increase the responsibility of enterprises in China and augment the requirements of EHS personnel's qualities. So our EHS managers in China has to be ready to face new challenges in the future.
Well, it sounds like a good plan. So the government is decreasing supervision and interference, but at the same time, organizations need to be more responsible in ensuring compliance. Otherwise, they'll have to face huge huge penalties. Well, thank you so
Yes.
much, Ines, for this insightful information. If you guys have any further questions on EHS trends in China or would like to ask Ines your questions directly, then please feel free to sign up for our webinar on this topic on June 28th. We would also be posting articles related to this subject on our social media accounts, so follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn to stay up to date. We are always happy to hear from you, so if you have any questions, send us an email at info@mnemonic.com. Wish you a great day, and we will see you soon.